We are exploring the possibility of sending people with some skills in areas wherever there is manpower shortage. That's not just limited to the far east of Russia. This is some effort that we have been making in a number of countries. But this is one of the areas where we now feel that there is a good potential. Essentially, these are skilled workers. And in some of the sectors that I mentioned, because most of the Russian Far East is essentially either the mineral sector or agricultural sector. Now, we are still at the early stage because as we do with other countries, you have to have an agreement, either with the Europeans, what we call a migration and mobility agreement, or with the other countries, we have labor agreements. So we are not at the stage yet of implementing it immediately, but what I can say is that we have received an encouraging response from the Russian side, and now we will proceed to explore it once this visit is over. It is important for us and we will give priority to this. As far as connectivity is concerned, as I said, the effort is to build shipping links between Chennai and Vladivostok. By that I want to be clear, I don't mean to say there's going to be any announcement of a shipping, a shipping service between Chennai and Vladivostok immediately or anything of the kind. But I think there's a recognition that an alternative route to Europe through the northern route is now a possibility that we should look at in terms of the economic benefits it might bring us with the northeast of Asia and beyond, particularly because a lot of the new oil and gas finds and mineral finds are in this region. So I think this is the start of a process. It will take a while, but we felt that it is important to start, and PM's whole visit to Vladivostok essentially is a signal of the fact that we attach importance to this part of Russia, a part that we have not really bothered about for the last maybe 6 decades or 7 decades. Srinjoy, Russia is one of the few countries which has end-to-end capability on human space flight, and so they are a natural partner for us. I don't have any detailed information on the astronauts or even on the training program, except to know that there will be training in both countries done by them. So some of the training will be in Russia, some of the training will be in India as well. That is still being worked out, but I have no further details that I can share with you on who has been selected or what is the nature of the training. Smita, although your question is not strictly related to Russia, I just want to say that as far as India and Russia are concerned, we have common ground. We both believe that at the end of the process, whatever is the outcome of discussions between the United States and the Taliban, what we both hope to see is a stable political situation where there is a political order and where there is a guarantee that the peace agreement or the post-agreement process will hold. To that extent, we have regular consultations. The most recent were, in fact, when the External Affairs Minister was in Russia. And by and large, we have been on the same page with Russia on this. So we expect that as we go down the road, and as yet there's no announcement, we will continue to work closely with them. On the question of what sort of representation we make at if and when the next round of intra-Afghan talks take place, and if we are invited, I don't want to speculate, but all I want to say at this stage is it is an important point and we are giving very serious consideration on this matter. My colleague tells me that we will shortly be issuing a statement relating to the consular access given to us today by our Charge d'Affaires to Shri Kulbhushan Sudhir Jadhav. Because as of now there is no scheduled meeting or scheduled discussion on this subject. What I can say is that we are interested in working with any third country in the Russian Far East because we believe that other countries also have the capacity to invest there and we would like to partner with them. So I think it's a general statement of intent on our part that we are ready not only to do bilateral investments but to partner with third countries in the Russian Far East. There's no individual country that we are in particular at this stage speaking to. I'm sorry I didn't get your name on this 5G cyber security. I just want to mention that there is unlikely to be any discussion at the leaders level. We of course have a cyber security dialogue with Russia. But on this particular issue, I would be sort of surprised if there is any discussion, although obviously I can't prejudge what subjects will be discussed by the two leaders. Suhasini, I have to be very careful in this matter. And simply to say that let's see as to, firstly, I think we support all peace initiatives. We have been a part of all of them, and in some cases, even though we have not initially been a part of them, we have been supportive of them. Our issue has been what is the sort of post-settlement situation. And in that regard, our position has been very clear. We prefer a system where which has constitutional legitimacy, which has a political mandate, which will ensure stability, and most important, which will not leave ungoverned spaces for terrorists or their proxies to take advantage of. I think that's our position. We are yet to hear the details of the US-Taliban agreement. As and when we hear the details, I'm sure that we will put out a statement or we will comment. But until then, it would be difficult for me to come on the record with anything.